What's up everybody out there in DTube and Steam It? Mikey Colon here, and in today's video we're going to be editing some photos taken from a beautiful building in 500 Boylston Street in downtown Boston. And we're back. I hope you guys enjoyed watching some behind the scenes footage of me in action and me getting to downtown Boston. And before we begin, I want to make sure you guys have an understanding of what the RAW format is. So before the digital age that we're now in, people used to use analog cameras like this. You would then take the negatives to a photo lab where they would process it for you. So there's many reasons why you guys may want to go through the effort of shooting RAW instead of JPEG. And this deserves a video by itself, but for today I'm just going to go over two examples. So we look at the RAW file on the left is 25.8 megabytes, whereas a JPEG is only 2.7 megabytes. So all that goes to show that that data is being tossed out the window when you're shooting JPEG. So by shooting RAW files, you also get more dynamic range, meaning more data to work with. So let's take a look at this example here. I'm just gonna do a quick edit, nothing crazy here. So we went from a totally unusable image to something now that we could use. So let's copy and paste the same exact settings that we did to the JPEG, and you'll see that it's pretty much unusable. It quickly falls apart. So before we begin editing the images from 500 Boylston Street, some of you may be wondering what lens did I use for this shoot. And to answer your question, it was a 16 to 35 millimeter ultra wide Canon lens. This lens gives you a very unique look and it is great for architecture shots. Here's an example. So let's say I wanted to shoot the Boston Harbor Hotel and get this whole dome piece. I don't know what it's called, but I'll call it a dome piece in one shot. I would have to stand across the street. But with the ultra wide angle lens, I could literally stand like right there and get this whole dome piece in one shot. So I just want to point out that when you get to a spot, don't just take one image, try taking the same image but from different angles. And it took me a while to get to where I wanted to be. So I think out of all the images, this is what I really wanted to set out and capture. All right, so let's begin the editing process. So first step is this was taken at a crazy angle, and we're gonna try and make it straight line straight. And that's the tricky thing about ultra wide angle lenses, is like you really gotta nail the angles. This is better. Let's just quickly jump over to the transform section and see if that makes things a little better. Nope, that made it worse. Let's escape out of that, or Command Z. Let's head over to the crop and straighten tool. We hold the R button. We're gonna just rotate this until things look straight. Now I'm wondering if I should leave this top part out, but I think I'm gonna not include it in the final image. All right, so first thing we gotta do is lower the exposure, the overall brightness, and that'll give us a good starting point. So now I'm gonna bring down the highlights. So you see how in the bright areas over here in the clouds, I'm bringing back more detail. I'll show you guys how to bring back even more detail. So over here it's still looking a little dark, so let's open up the shadows, and already making a huge difference. Let's just pull it down a little bit. If you're wondering what that red stuff is if you hold the J, or you can press the J button, wherever is red, there is no detail. So if I go all the way Right now you see how the sky is like completely white. There is like zero detail. And over here in these windows. But you just want to bring it to the point where you just see like a little bit of what's called exposure or highlight clipping, because that'll let us know that there is a white point, which is important, especially if you're going to print something out. You always want some whites and some blacks. If not, your image is going to look flat when you print it out. So the same thing with the blacks. I'm holding or tapping the J button, and wherever it is blue, there is no detail there. So let me just go to the other extreme. You see wherever it's blue, no detail. Now there's detail. All right, so we got a white point or a black point. Now with the clarity, I just want to add a little bit of punch. All right, so now the clouds are still a little bit overexposed. So what we're gonna do is head over to the adjustment brush section and you hit K on your keyboard. So now I'm gonna check on this box, show selected mask overlay. So now when I paint, you're gonna see some red. And wherever is red, means that's the areas we're gonna affect with our adjustments. Now you also wanna make sure that auto mask is selected. And the idea behind that is Lightroom is supposed to be smart enough to know that because we're painting, let's say in this example, on the white areas, it shouldn't bleed over to the building, but it's not always perfect. Like if you want to go crazy, you can like really zoom in and tighten things up. Because if not, it looks like a halo. But for now, we just want to affect the sky. So now let's deselect show selected mask overlay and let's lower the exposure and let's see what that does. Nope, not liking that because it's kind of getting gray. You know what, we could probably add some blues to it. Let's see what happens if we change the temperature. Look at that, we can make an overcast day into a sunny day, but I think the blue is taking too much away from the building. So something like that looks a little better. I don't know. Let's just put it back to the way it was. I kind of like it. Yeah, that looks pretty good. This little rectangle shows you before and after. So that was before, and this was after with our adjustments. All right, so let's see if we can add some more punch to this image. I'm gonna go over to the tone curve over here. And let's add some more contrast. Medium is okay. But for this image, strong is even better. All right, so let's head over down to the post-crop vignetting section, and I'm gonna darken the corners and add a vignette. And that looks pretty cool. Now I'm looking at the image and the left side is kind of bigger than the right side. So let's see if we could make it even Steven. And to get to the crop and straighten tool, I hit the R button. You would think it'd be C, but no, C is compare. All right, so this is where we finished, and to show you where we started. So this is before, and behold the power of raw. All right, everybody, so I think I'm happy with it. The thing about being or doing artistic things is you could just keep editing and tweaking and tweaking and tweaking and like never be happy. But I'm pretty happy with where this image is at. I am going to include the link in the description so you guys could play at home. If you don't have Lightroom, you could download a trial. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I hope you guys learned a thing or two. And moving forward, I have a bunch of other videos that I already filmed the outside part, but I just gotta film the voiceover part on the computer. And just to give you a preview of what I'm working on, I have a video in the works on how I process hundreds of raw files, because depending on what I shoot, I can come back easily with hundreds and sometimes thousands of images if I'm doing something like sports or where they need the images right away. I also filmed a behind the scenes look at pet photography featuring my fur babies Gizmo and Chuki. I filmed a personal trainer session the other day and I want to show you guys how I create images that I call Meet Your Personal Trainer. I also have a quick tip I filmed in the Eczema Islands for you photographers out there, and it's pretty obvious, but sometimes we need to be told things that are, well, obvious. I filmed a headshot session with the Rocky God, and I'll take you behind the scenes for that. And on a final note, I want to thank the people over at World of Photography at Photo Contest. Thank you for your support, and I know it's a lot of work keeping things running. And one thing I really appreciate is that it gives something for people like me to contribute to on a daily basis. For the photographers out there watching this, I encourage you guys to participate and join us. It's an awesome community, and let's help each other out and grow. For more information, you can check out worldofphotography.org for the categories of the daily contests they run, or you can just go to @photocontest on Steemit. I'd also like to give a shout out to the people running Photo Circle. They just launched in March of this year and they're already making a lot of noise on Steemit. I love what you guys are doing and keep it up. That's it for now. Mikey Colon, check you later.